There is a moment in every seeker's life when the question no longer becomes about what is out there, but what is in here. Not who can I trust, but why did I trust them? Not how could they betray me, but why was I blind to the signs? The most dangerous enemy is not the one who strikes with a sword, but the one who sits close, speaks sweetly, and causes the spirit to rot from within while wearing the disguise of loyalty. And yet, the beginning of wisdom is not suspicion, it is stillness. In our tradition there is a very old teaching. A man came to a master, upset, confused. He told the master that many around him had begun to act strangely, that some who once supported him now began to envy him, that friends seemed different, colder. The master, without speaking, handed him a bowl of clear water. The man looked into it and saw his reflection. The master said, "As long as the water is disturbed, you cannot see anything clearly, not your reflection, not what lies beneath, not even your own eyes." This is the first step toward knowing if someone carries a demon within them, not by looking outward, but by becoming inwardly still. People ask, how do I know if someone I love is hurting me behind a mask? And I ask them, how still are you within yourself? Because when your mind is disturbed by craving, you will chase illusions. When your heart is clouded by fear, you will interpret every shadow as a monster. When your spirit is inflamed by desire, you will mistake fireflies for stars. Clarity begins when we stop reacting. Because the demon in people is rarely revealed during conflict, no. It hides during celebration. It lurks in casual words. It does not scream, it waits. And only the quiet observer sees it. Imagine this. You are sitting with a friend. You speak about your success, about your growth, about something that you've achieved that required pain, discipline, sacrifice. And while you speak, you feel a silence on the other side. Not the silence of awe or reverence, but the silence of tension, the kind that twists the air subtly. Their smile does not reach the eyes. Their words, while congratulatory, carry no spirit. They say, well, not everyone gets lucky, or must be nice when things are easy for you. These are not mistakes, these are echoes from a place of resentment. A demon does not always roar. Sometimes it disguises itself as passive commentary, as faint praise, as spiritual bypassing. And if you are too busy clinging to the idea of who they used to be, you will never see who they are now. Stillness is the weapon that no demon can hide from. Why do people not notice this? Because their own waters are not calm. When you seek love desperately, you are easily manipulated. When you need validation from family, you dismiss disrespect as misunderstanding. When you define yourself based on your relationships, you lose the courage to confront the rot within those relationships. People change, and sometimes those closest to you evolve into something that is no longer compatible with your path. But if your mind is racing, if your heart is panicking, if your spirit is agitated, then you will not accept this truth. You will explain away red flags, you will defend what drains you, you will bargain with your own intuition. And so the first and most important sign is not what they say, but how you feel when you are in stillness around them. Sit with your own emotions before you go to war with theirs. If you are calm and grounded and you begin to feel tension when they enter the room, trust that sensation. If you are joyful and full of life and you begin to feel the need to shrink or hide or quiet yourself in their presence, trust that signal. If you are confident in your path, and after a conversation with them you are suddenly doubting your steps, revisiting your wounds, second-guessing your worth, this is the whisper of their energy invading yours. It does not always come with insults. Sometimes it comes with a glance, a breath, a subtle withdrawal of warmth. People think demons announce themselves. No. They arrive slowly, like fog. They don't change the scenery, they just make it harder to see clearly. That is why stillness is so important. In the monastery, we are taught to sweep the courtyard every morning, even if there are no leaves. Some ask, why? And the answer is, because the act is not for the leaves, it is for the one who sweeps. In the same way, your spiritual hygiene must be regular, not reactive. You do not wait for betrayal to begin cleansing your perception. You maintain stillness as a daily discipline, not because you expect evil, but because truth reveals itself only to the mind that is quiet, undisturbed by stories. Now, how does one achieve this stillness in a world full of noise? You must begin by observing rather than judging. You must separate feeling from reaction. For example, when someone says something sharp or passive, instead of reacting with hurt or defensiveness, observe the source. Ask, where is this energy coming from? Do not seek to fix them. Do not seek to punish them. Simply observe. The demon within a friend or family member feeds on your emotional confusion. It thrives when you feel obligated to be nice, to keep the peace, to not make a big deal. But when you stand in calm awareness, when you observe without reacting, the demon becomes restless. It cannot control you, it will shift tactics. First it will play the victim, then it will try to guilt you, then it will go silent. But none of this works if you remain still. Stillness is not inaction, it is intentional awareness. It is the power to see without being pulled. Imagine again the muddy pond. You want to know what lies beneath, the fish, the rocks, the roots, but you cannot see anything because the water is stirred up. That is what emotion does to perception. And the demon in others is not afraid of confrontation, it is afraid of discernment. Because confrontation is reactive, it can be dismissed, defended against, deflected. But discernment, that knowing, in your eyes when you see through the mask, that cannot be denied. It is the mirror that no demon wants to face. Some may ask, but if I love this person, should I not give them the benefit of the doubt? And I ask in return, if you love yourself, should you not give your spirit the clarity it deserves? You cannot heal someone by becoming their target. You cannot prove loyalty by ignoring betrayal. And you cannot walk your path in truth while dragging along those whose very presence bends your reality. But again I say, do not rush to judgment. Not everyone who causes you pain is a demon. Sometimes people are simply lost, immature, wounded. The difference is in their pattern, not their moment. A person who has a demon within them cannot sit in truth for long. They will shift the topic, they will twist the meaning, they will avoid the mirror, they will make you question your memory, your feelings, your actions. They will resist accountability as if it were poison. They will charm others while isolating you. You will notice this if you are still, not once, but over time. And this is the discipline, to remain still long enough to see the pattern. In the temple, we watch how a tree bends in the wind, not after one gust, but over seasons. Some bend and return upright, others lean until they fall. The demon in someone close to you often leans further with time. At first it might just be jealousy, then it becomes sarcasm, then it becomes sabotage. And if you speak up, they become offended that you even noticed. Stillness allows you to hold your awareness like a mirror, without shaking, without needing approval, without needing to be understood. Because the moment you need them to validate your insight, the demon has leverage. So you keep your center, you act with compassion, but not with blindness. You listen, but not without filters. You forgive, but not without consequence. It is not your duty to expose anyone. It is your duty to see clearly, to trust the signals that come not from paranoia, but from presence. The most dangerous thing you can do is betray your own inner wisdom just to keep a false peace. Every time you silence your truth because they might get upset, you place one more stone on your own chest, and eventually that weight becomes unbearable. But when you are still, when you speak from a place of calm conviction, the demon is revealed, not through violence, but through discomfort. You will see it in the shift of their posture, the deflection in their tone, the way their energy tightens. They cannot exist long in the light of authentic awareness. So become that light, but not the kind that burns in rage, the kind that remains, that watches, that sees, and in seeing transforms everything. The beginning of protection is perception. The beginning of discernment is stillness. The beginning of freedom is truth. Be like the pond, let your inner waters settle, let the mud drop, let the surface clear. because only in stillness will you see not just the demon in others, but the deepest part of yourself. And once you see, truly see, you cannot be deceived again. When a fire burns in the forest, it does not choose who will come near. The warmth radiates outward. Some are drawn to sit by it in reverence, in gratitude. Others are drawn with greed, with envy, with a hidden thirst to own what is not theirs, to extinguish what they cannot understand. The same happens when the fire within you begins to burn. When you grow, when you rise, when you transform the inner soil of your being into something radiant, people will be drawn to you. But not all who come close come with clean hands or clear hearts. Some come not to celebrate the fire, but to take from it, to absorb what they lack, to dim what threatens their own darkness. And this, if you are not aware, can be the beginning of your slow and silent suffocation. The demon is not always violent. Often it is subtle. It disguises itself as familiarity. It speaks in the voice of childhood friends, of siblings, of long-lost companions. It wears the memories you once cherished as armor, and it uses those same memories to enter your heart without knocking. This is why when you begin to glow with purpose, you must pay attention, not to strangers, but to those who have always known you, because it is often the ones closest to your roots who struggle the most when your branches reach toward the sky. The fire in you can be your truth, your healing, your new discipline, your return to something sacred, and yet that fire will not be welcomed by all. Some will say you've changed, and what they mean is you've stopped shrinking. Some will say you've become selfish, and what they mean is you've stopped sacrificing your peace to maintain their comfort. Some will say you're trying to be better than them, and what they mean is your growth has made their excuses harder to believe. This is not your fault, but it is your responsibility to see it. When you rise, observe who grows quiet. When you speak your dreams, notice who avoids eye contact. When you succeed, see who chooses sarcasm instead of support. You must watch carefully, not with suspicion, but with clarity. You are not hunting for enemies, you are simply removing the illusion of friendship where only hidden resentment lives. Because a demon does not always wish you to fail in public, it wishes you to fail in private, so it can pretend to mourn with you. It celebrates your hesitations, it feeds on your doubts, it encourages you to stay small, then blames you for not achieving more. It does not attack directly, instead it nudges. It questions your timing, it questions your capacity, it asks, "Are you sure this is for you?" while wearing the mask of care. And if you are not firmly anchored in your fire, you will believe this concern is love. You will mistake their fear as your own. The demon enters not through the front door, but through the cracks in your confidence. That is why it is drawn to heat, because the moment you begin to burn brighter, those cracks begin to close, and the demon knows. If you become fully alive, you will no longer need its approval, its false comfort, its conditional loyalty. The brighter you shine, the less control it has. Now you begin to understand why, when you start to change, the resistance doesn't come from outside but from familiar voices. Not because they hate you, but because your fire disturbs their slumber. Your transformation confronts them with the reflection they do not want to see. It reminds them of the work they have avoided, the growth they refused, the chains they became comfortable wearing. And so they try to pull you back. Not always through anger, but often through mockery. They will joke about your new habits. They will downplay your progress. They will talk behind your back, then smile in your presence. This is the slow erosion of intimacy, and if you are not careful, you will keep calling it love. But love does not shrink in the face of your evolution. Love does not demand you to stay broken just so others feel less alone. Love does not fear your fire. It learns to dance in its light. You must watch for the patterns, not the episodes. Anyone can have a bad day. But when support turns to sabotage, when joy turns to jealousy, when encouragement turns into empty silence over and over again, this is not accident. This is not immaturity. This is a spirit that cannot handle your freedom. And sometimes it is someone you've known for years that makes it harder to see. We give more chances to those who share our history, but a shared past does not guarantee a safe future. In the monastery, when a new candle is lit from the altar, the master does not place it next to damp cloth. He places it in the wind to test its strength, and then he brings it near others to see if they catch fire or try to extinguish it. The candle that dims when others approach is not yet ready. The candle that burns brighter despite the wind, that is a candle that can lead others through darkness. And so it is with you. Your fire must be tested not only by solitude but by company. You must observe what your light does to others and what their presence does to your light. Some people are drawn to warmth only because they are cold inside. They sit close not to learn but to steal. They mimic your words, they mirror your energy, but when the time comes to show support, they disappear. When the moment comes to stand with you, they stand back. They like you better as an ember than a flame. This is how you spot the demon. It's not in the conflict, it's in the absence of celebration. Not in what they do to you, but in what they fail to do for you. Your eyes will reveal who truly loved you and who only loved the version of you that served their ego. And that revelation, while painful, is also purification, because fire not only warms, it cleanses. Now you must ask yourself, who feels burdened by your joy? Who subtly punishes your peace? Who becomes irritated when you no longer need saving? These are difficult questions, but if you don't ask them, you will remain surrounded by people who say the right things but carry the wrong energy. Energy never lies. Words are easy. Posture can be faked. But energy, that's the truth that arrives before the person walks in the room. You will feel it as tension in your chest, a dullness in your spirit, a confusion in your direction. You will doubt yourself more when they are near. You will apologize more, explain more, shrink more. This is the weight of their unspoken resentment sitting on your shoulder. And no matter how much love you give, it will not be enough. Because their demon is not hungry for love, it is hungry for power. You do not need to confront everyone, you do not need to accuse or expose, you simply need to return to your fire, and in doing so watch who stays. Watch who adjusts. Watch who learns to carry their own light. Those are your people. The others will fall away, or they will try harder to dim you. But if you remain still and burn with quiet confidence, they cannot harm you. You must also be honest with yourself. Are there places in your own heart where the demon hides? Do you feel envious of those who rise faster than you? Do you resent those who choose peace when you are still attached to suffering? We all carry shadows, but a true warrior brings them into the light, not by denial, but by discipline. And so you burn, with intention, with devotion, not to prove anything, but to become who you were always meant to be. Not everyone will understand. That is not your burden. Your task is not to explain your fire. Your task is to become it. And when you do, you will no longer seek warmth from those who resent your glow. You will no longer beg for applause from those who never clapped. You will no longer sit beside those who flinch when you shine. Because now you understand. The demon is drawn to heat, but heat is also the cure. Let your fire rise. Let it speak the truth your words cannot. Let it burn away illusion. Let it make you free. There is a difference between listening and hearing, between looking and seeing, between smiling and meaning it. In the world we live in, most people are trained to listen with their ears, to watch with their eyes, and to believe what they are told. But in the monastery, we are trained to listen with the body, to see with the spirit, and to observe not what is said, but what is omitted. Because sometimes the greatest danger does not come from what someone confesses. It comes from what they conceal beneath politeness, beneath tradition, beneath shared bloodlines and familiar laughter. When a person smiles at you, it triggers safety. It tells the mind, this is warmth, but the body knows otherwise. Have you never felt it before? A friend, a family member, a colleague. They smile, their words are sweet, but your body tightens. Their presence makes you tired. You walk away from them and feel smaller, heavier, a little bit more unsure of yourself. And yet you brush it off. You say, they're just tired, or maybe I imagined that. You convince yourself not to look too deeply, but I am telling you now, this is how the demon hides. The eyes carry what the mouth cannot disguise. The face can pretend, the tone can mimic affection, but the eyes will always tell you the truth. Not because they are magical, but because the energy that flows from a person cannot be controlled completely. The eyes are not just for seeing out, they are portals that allow something from within to leak. And when someone harbors resentment or jealousy or judgment, that emotion will flicker in the gaze, even for a moment. The mouth may say, "I'm happy for you," but the eyes will flash with conflict. The soul will protest the lie being told. You must become still enough to catch that moment. Do not be in a hurry to respond. Do not rush to affirm what they say. Let the words pass through your ears, but keep your awareness on the space between the sounds. How does your heart respond? What message does your nervous system deliver in that quiet gap? Truth, when ignored long enough, becomes buried beneath politeness, but truth, when honored, rises like smoke from a fire. You feel it before you can name it. I remember a lesson from many years ago. A student asked the master, "How do I know if someone is my true ally?" And the master replied, "Bring them your success, bring them your peace, bring them your light, watch their pupils." The student was confused and asked, "Their pupils?" The master only nodded. Because when you look into someone's eyes at the moment you are most alive, you will see whether they celebrate your soul or simply tolerate your shine. This is not about paranoia, it is about presence. We all carry a longing to be accepted, and so when someone smiles, when someone uses soft words, when someone stands beside us in name or in family, we want to believe they are for us. We want it so badly that we dismiss the tremble in our stomach. But no one can fake what the soul reveals. Their hands may hug you, their voice may praise you, but the eyes will narrow for a heartbeat, they will flick to the side, they will harden for a second. And that is the opening, that is where the demon lives. A demon is not always evil in the way movies show us. It is not horns and fire. Often it is bitterness that has fermented inside someone who feels left behind. It is comparison turned into quiet poison. It is envy that is too proud to admit itself. And so it grows silently behind gestures of love, behind tradition, behind shared meals, behind holiday photographs. And if you are not careful, you will hand your deepest dreams to someone whose heart secretly hopes you fail. But you are not to blame for wanting to believe in people. That is natural. The lesson is not to harden your heart, it is to sharpen your perception. Not all who smile at you wish you well. Some smile to study you. Some smile to measure your growth. Some smile to imitate you and learn your weaknesses. This is especially true with those who once felt superior to you. When you begin to rise, when you surpass the old limits of your former self, those who clung to the belief that they were above you begin to feel their illusion dissolve. And that is when the demon awakens. It may still wear the face of a brother, a cousin, a parent, a friend, but the energy has changed. You do not need to accuse, you do not need to call it out, just watch. Watch how their energy shifts when the attention is on you. Watch how they respond when someone praises your work. Watch how they listen when you speak of your new discipline, your healing, your peace. Are they truly with you, or are they waiting to change the subject? Are they quick to compare, to subtly insert their own struggle, to remind you of the mistake, to shift the energy back toward their importance? These are not accidents, these are indicators. A tree that leans toward the light casts a shadow in the other direction. In the same way, when your spirit begins to grow, it casts a light that exposes hidden intentions. The greater your clarity, the more invisible things become visible. But only if you are still, only if you are observing with more than just your eyes. This is not about living in suspicion. It is about becoming a master of energetic literacy. You must learn to read people not by their words, but by their resonance. What is the frequency of their presence? Do you feel safer, more expanded, more grounded after they leave? Or do you feel drained, confused, unsure? We spend so much time decoding language and so little time tuning into presence. There is a saying in the old texts, the serpent smiles before it strikes. In the wild, a predator does not always come snarling. It comes quiet, it adapts, it blends in. And the closer the predator is to your nest, the more trust it must earn before the attack. The same is true in our human lives. The ones who carry the demon are not always loud, confrontational, or hostile. Sometimes they are helpful, affectionate, supportive, until you shine brighter than they expected. Then comes the moment of discomfort, the shift in their eyes. That is when you must see. You do not need to hate them, you do not need to fight them, but you must stop giving them the key to your inner sanctuary. We teach that the heart is a sacred temple, and not every visitor may enter the inner chamber. Some may stay in the outer garden, others may rest at the gate, but only those whose eyes reflect truth, not flattery, not calculation, but genuine light, may walk beside you as you rise. You are not being cruel by becoming selective. You're honoring the fire inside you that took years to light. And anyone who feels threatened by that fire, who resents that glow, who mimics warmth but hides a cold heart, they are not for you, even if they share your blood, your past, or your memories. The lesson is not to stop trusting, it is to trust more deeply, starting with yourself, because your body knows, your breath knows, your stillness knows. The mouth may lie, the eyes may flicker, but your spirit never doubts. So when someone smiles at you, look deeper. When someone praises you, pause. When someone says, "I'm so proud of you," listen to the tone. Watch the body, feel the energy. Do they lift you or do they leave you second guessing? Do you walk away with a clearer mind or with a subtle ache in your chest that you cannot explain? These are signs, and once you begin to honor them, you will walk in truth. You will stop chasing validation from those whose spirit is out of alignment with yours. You will stop explaining your light to those who secretly hope it burns out. You will no longer confuse proximity with loyalty or history with harmony. Because now you understand, the eyes always speak, even when the mouth is smiling. And what they reveal, if you are present, can save you years of suffering. Not everyone who smiles loves you, but everyone who loves you truly will smile with eyes that shine in sync with your soul. That is how you know. That is how you see.